So this particular day is about the only day out of the year that you'll find me in such a willing and happy mood to wake up at 4 a.m. and make the 12-hour drive to South Florida, and that is because it's turkey season. So myself and Jordan and Jessi Blissett are headed down today. I think we're going to get there early enough to try to roost some turkeys. We're going to a place called Blackbeard's Ranch. It's a private place that we've been lucky enough to hunt for 5 years. I think this is our 5th spring out there. Dropped a lot of waypoints out there over the years, as I'm sure you'll see. But pretty incredible place, pretty incredible story on the conservation side, and just count ourselves lucky to be able to hunt there. But hopefully we get there in time to roost a turkey. We'll see.
We just got down in Florida, literally with about 15 minutes to spare to roost.
Jordan is at the other end of the property doing the same thing I'm doing. So maybe between the two of us, we'll get a game plan for the morning.
Going to a spot we've had some success in the past.
So we should have a good idea either way.
A lot of times when you have success in a place in the past, it can end up producing year after year, so we'll see.
It's kind of a one-ditch effort because it's about going to be dark anyway.
Lake's on the other side of the property, listening.
If I hear a turkey over these cows, it's going to be a miracle.
He's right on the edge over there.
Of course he's not going to gobble when I get the camera rolling. Or he might be gobbling, I just can't hear him over these cows. But we had one answer. He's in a different spot because this place has changed since this past hurricane season. Hurricane came through, knocked a bunch of these big pines down that we used to find turkeys roosting in. So I'm super glad that turkey gobbled because I got him marked and got a pretty decent starting spot for tomorrow. The next morning, we decided to slip back into where Jordan and Jessi roosted that bird the night before, right along the edge of that old pond bed. As daybreak came, the turkey got plenty fired up. But to our misfortune, he walked right past us, through the fog, only giving a few courtesy gobbles while making his way to his hens that were roosted on the other side. We gave the spot a little bit more time just to be safe, but all we had come into range was this pair of jakes, so we decided it was time to make a move and see if we could catch up with him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a road about 75 yards where it kind of runs towards him. I think we can go right up here this opening, cut to it, and get pretty close to him.
Checking every so often.
We reached an intersection of two fire lanes that we thought shouldn't be too far from where we last pinpointed the gobbler.
Yeah, because he ain't terrible far. He's right where that green waypoint is.
We had only been set up for a few minutes before things started to heat up.
I believe that's a hen. I see him.
Not far behind those hens was a bigger wad of turkeys, with 2 strutters in the bunch. It was at this time we witnessed something that none of us had ever seen in the turkey woods.
Coyote. Hens are coming this way. I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
They're running towards it.
What in the world?
Come on, get that dog. That's his ankle. Help that. Get on out of here.
Despite our disbelief, the hens proceeded to chase that coyote until they were completely out of sight. The gobblers and jakes hung around for a little while, which gave us a glimmer of hope, but eventually they eased off as well, which sent us back to the drawing board.
It's hot, middle of the day, and Lake and I were at the camp, just kind of talking back and forth about, do you want to go, or do you want to go hunt later on this afternoon? And Lake's like, well, we're here, might as well go. So we started thinking like where a turkey should be at this time of day. And there's a bunch of shady roads on this place, like big thick canopy palm tree things. And we remembered from years past from hunting here that a lot of them are shady during the day, and maybe a good spot to come and check. But show you kind of the lay of the land right here. See this long straightaway right here, and all of this is palm tree cabbages, and this thing runs north and south. So right now the sun should be casting shadows over the road pretty much. This thing runs for about a mile down through here, so probably gonna go up here, peek down, and then if we don't see anything or hear anything within a few minutes, keep on easing down.
You see something?
Turkey's down there.
How far?
About 100 yards. There's 2 longbeards.
Can we crawl into that clump?
I think so, just have to take our time. They're just hanging out in the shade, feeding. I'll probably ease back here and call.
Get situated like you need to. They're turned the other way. The longbeards are looking hard. Yeah. He's coming. Get ready, Jessi. They got a ways to come, but they're coming. Yeah. There's a third longbeard. There's 4 longbeards, Jordan. Yes. They've still got a ways to come. You see them now? Okay. They're coming. Do you see them? All right, just let them come. Just let them come.
appreciate you.
So we had to sit here for an hour after she shot the turkey because the other turkeys never would leave, and they finally just eased off just a few minutes ago.
That was a lot of fun.
You held it together great. I was proud of you. I was sitting over there calling, and I was watching you, and I was expecting to see that gun barrel shaking because I know if I was sitting there it'd be shaking, and it was just steady as a rock from what I could see.
I just know the longer I sit there and look at them, the more excited I get. So I knew I needed to hurry up before I started getting too excited.
There are certain areas that you want to look for when you're going hunting in the middle of the day, because most of the time when it's above about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, turkeys are seeking for shade. We got on onX and we're looking for areas that we thought would be shaded, secluded, and these fire lanes like we were hunting on just a few minutes ago are perfect for that because this lane runs north and south. So in the afternoon you got southwest sunlight, right? So it casts a shade over top of the road. And they dissed that, I don't know, a month ago or so, and there's a bunch of young green grasses coming up, which I'm sure they're nipping on the grass, but there's also plenty of insects around that road edge and such. So that I think that was a big part of why we ended up here, is just looking for shade on onX and marked some pins down, and we ended up here and it worked out. Now that you've got a turkey, we're gonna go try to roost one this afternoon and see what happens.
While slipping around trying to find a roosted turkey, we checked a cattle pasture and spotted a gobbler strutting with a couple hens. Immediately, we started game planning.
We spotted a longbeard out in this pasture, and we got on a turkey that in the morning roosted in that back corner a few years ago, and we're thinking that that's where these two hens and this longbeard is headed. So we slipped inside the woods and are trying to get back to that corner, trying to cut them off on the way there.
With no time to waste, we start moving as quickly as possible, just inside the woods, trying to reach the back corner of that pasture where we think these turkeys might be headed.
Going that way.
We get as far as we can without getting busted and make a setup.
It's obviously closer because I can hear him now.
Yeah. He's walking his way for sure.
While we were focused on the gobbler, we almost didn't notice that this hen had slipped in on top of us. After a while, she eased off back in the gobbler's direction, which we worried would keep him from coming our direction.
And hens I saw moving behind her because he ain't moved hardly.
Holding the ground now, ain't he?
It's making me think that he wants to go roost somewhere else and he's just held up.
Yeah.
Because he wants us to come with him.
Since we thought the turkey wasn't coming any closer, Jordan eased up to glass. To both our surprise, the gobbler was closing distance and fairly quick. We can tell he's moving to the right, so we put all our focus to the right of this pile, just trying to catch a glimpse of him.
There he is.
Which side?
Outside.
I got it. You want me to? Do you want me to?
Kill him.
South Florida, Osceola. Number 2 for the day. This is the first time me and you ever killed turkey in the same day? Yep. That's pretty good luck. Love you. Glad to have you here. Let me go ahead and get it. I don't think you could have more of an exciting afternoon turkey hunt than that. On the way back to camp, we were just easing along and spotted a hen.
Beautiful.
This old guy was just trailing up, and we made a big old loop, probably about a mile in here. And Lake and I have hunted here before. We actually set up on a turkey like right in here somewhere, and kind of knew that these turkeys like to go back in here in the evenings before they fly up to roost. And sure enough, started yelping at him out there once we got set up and brought his hens in, and wasn't but just a few minutes later he popped up out over there to the right about 45 yards, and the rest is history, as they say. And now, Mr. Pickle, it's your turn. Hopefully we can do it one more time, but if this is the last time, I'm happy.
Proud of you.
I love you.
Love you.
I'll never get tired of this till the day I die. I can go ahead and tell you, I'm never going to get tired of it.
Going back to where we started yesterday, but the game plan's a little bit different. We'll try to ooze in there with this full moon. I have a hard time seeing it. I'd be more worried about him seeing us. But either way, we'll get to stepping before it starts breaking day.
In typical turkey fashion, the gobbler was nowhere near we expected him to be. We did our best to make a quick setup. But after realizing that gobbler was covered up with hens, we started thinking pretty heavily about that long fire lane where we had seen all the turkeys the day prior.
So we made a pretty big loop, and this is the same fire lane where Jessi shot her turkey yesterday. Except this fire lane stretches a long, long way, probably half to 3/4 of a mile. And we were back that way, a couple hundred with hers. A bunch of turkeys trying to hang out in here, and they're not just handing out free gobbles. And so the best plan that we thought to lay out was just come here and hang out, set up. If we strike one and he happens to be close, great. If we hear one fur off and we need to go towards him, that's fine too. Get stationary for a little while. I didn't want to risk spooking anything, and see if we could stir something up that way.
After being set up and calling for about 20 minutes, things start to get real exciting real fast.
Scrap. Get you going, baby. He's coming. Oh, yeah. Jessi, there's a turkey coming. Be still. I can't see. He's on the left side of the road.
Is he still coming?
I think so. That might be a hen. Yeah, there's a hen coming.
Before we know it, one hen turned into multiple, and we began to realize this was not going to be as quick and easy as we thought.
They're on the left side of the road. If he gets to where that hen in the front is, you bust him.
I will. I just gotta keep an eye on the hens. I have a hard time shooting them because of all the hens. I can't. That hen's gotta get clear of it.
What hen's in the way?
One right, that one right there to the left of it.
Oh,
You don't see her?
I do now. There's a shot. Well, heck.
Yeah. Them hens, man, I can't shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
After having this turkey in front of us for over an hour, he finally drifts away back down the fire lane, strutting behind his hens.
So we've been sitting on that turkey, watching him strut around with those hens for an hour, hour and a half. And he finally, this fire lane for the most part straight, but there was just enough bend. They went around where we could get up and try to make a move. The plan is this fire lane we're standing on right now is on the opposite side of the fence, but it parallels the one that they're on. And this is a super aggressive move, but there's so many cabbage trees, blowdowns, palmettos along this fence line that I think we can kind of go straight at them every now and then, take out, peek, check where they are, get back in and make moves towards them. It's a pretty aggressive move, but I feel like we got a chance. Got to try it. He's not going to leave those hens. You ready?
Ready.
You ready?
Yeah. I'm in ninja mode.
We start our move down the fence, peeking out every so often to check where they are. Our hope is that with all the palmettos and cabbage trees along this old fence, it'll keep us hidden until we can sneak in really close.
You see him?
There's a hen right there.
How far?
Like 40 yards. You see her?
No.
The long beard's right there. Like right there. Do you see him? You can ease up here. You can ease up. You got the gobbler.
Strut.
Yeah, he's looking.
He's looking. You are killing.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not the textbook way of shooting one, but it worked.
Hey, we're talking about how much it pays off to have a place mapped out. We were looking at it, we were like, there's a lane on the other side, we can hop to it, get parallel with him. We've been on this turkey for an hour and a half.
Pretty.
This had to have been the same turkey, no doubt.
How far away was he when you shot him?
35.
Okay.
Just the fact that we could get that close to him. He was so intense on that hen, and we have all of these, you can see it, I'm sure, there's all these palmettos that line this fence line that separate these two fire lanes that parallel each other. Walking, I'd look. I knew we had to be getting close, but I did not think we'd be walking up that close to him. But the three of us, we've all just fallen in love with being able to come here and hunt turkeys in South Florida. It's just so different than anything else that you get to do, and to do it on a place like this gets so well taken care of. And it's so funny because I was talking to Mr. Jim yesterday, because he actually just started using onX, and I was showing him what you could do, and I said, well shoot, look how much we've mapped up this place, because we've marked up every road, every place we've heard a turkey roost, we've marked everything. And now it pays off, because now you just look, oh, that road. Glad y'all could be here.
I'm glad to be here.
This hunt was a combination of good habitat, having history hunting on a place, and using the tools that we've been equipped with. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hang around, subscribe to the channel, and check out some of the other videos we've got, and be on the lookout for more videos in the future.